wanted to just dedicate a time for the residents to be more informed about what hazards exist in the city of Anchorage. We only wish to inform and not leave you in fear, so stay tuned until the end. We'll give more information of how to stay safe. The city is located in a place where hazards could potentially become disasters, just like any other location in the world. So please remember that. First off, let's ask the residents of the city and see what the people say. Emily is reporting live from Anchorage. Emily, what are the residents saying? How much do they know, and what is the reaction to the hazards?
Yes, Emma. I am here at 1010 Beach Lane, Anchorage, Alaska. It is raining here in August, but this place experiences many different weather conditions. With me, I have Emerson Kuhn. The people want to know, what are your reactions to the threats of volcanism and earthquakes and avalanches? Please tell us.
I think that people need to be more informed. We know that the threat is there. Volcanism is on the west side of us. We have avalanches, which are on the mountains, and they're a little bit further away, so we kind of don't really pay attention to them as a town. The earthquake that happened in the 1960s, the Prince William Sound earthquake, which really impacted this place because of the landslide, but I think people are starting to forget that, and people need to be reminded about that, and that the hazard is real. It can happen. Personally, I'm afraid a lot of times, and I think we need to be more informed of what steps need to be taken, what we need to do to prepare ourselves more and be prepared when a big one hits.
Thank you, Emily. We have volcanologist Emile Cadone. Professor Cadone explains the possible threats of volcanism in the area. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Alaska's a whole body of land is dotted with beautiful mountain ranges and volcanoes. Under the surface, we have the Pacific Plate submerging under the North American Plate. Literally, the plate is going underneath, creating an arch called the Aleutian Trench, which consists of 76 volcanoes. Along this line is where the infamous Alaskan volcanoes and earthquakes occur. Several volcanoes are located near Anchorage, but one volcano in particular is closest, Mount Spur. Mount Spur is the 8th largest volcano in the Aleutian Trench, measuring 9,800 feet high. It is a stratovolcano with a lava dome at the summit, a collapsed caldera called the crater peak, which is the vent, and a small stratocone on the south side. It generally has small but explosive eruptions. The mountain blasts volcanic ash and causes lahars, debris avalanches, and pyroclastic flows. It is a glacier-covered mountain, so these things can very well happen and be a direct disaster to the near Chekachatna River area, but are not too serious of a threat specifically for Anchorage. The ash deposits of the volcano can definitely be a threat to the Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport and other local aerial crafts, and contaminates water as the wind can carry the ash in any direction. 1010 Beach Street is located on the western part of Anchorage and has proven before to experience the effects of the eruption. We have seen this before in 1992. The volcano erupted and coated the city with about half an inch of ash, not speaking about the 10 miles it sent into the sky. Mount Spur is about 78.3 miles west from the city, but the ash even made it there. Ash can also be a health issue for humans and animals, as it can be harmful for the respiratory health. Because people have experienced ash reaching the city not more than 30 years ago, we can see that it can easily happen again with wind blowing in any direction.
Tell us a little bit more about earthquakes.
Yeah. Earthquakes, due to the submerging relationship of the tectonic plates, happen frequently in the state of Alaska, making this the second hazard to Anchorage. Either in the city or in the southern part of Alaska, once in 1 or 2 years, there is at least one magnitude 7 or greater earthquake, and a magnitude of 8 in 13 years. Smaller ones happen all the time. In 1962, though, Alaska experienced a 9.2 magnitude, which was where the epicenter, or the point directly above the focus, or where the earthquake originates, was located in Prince William Sound. Prince William Sound is about 74 miles southeast of Anchorage. When the earthquake struck, Seattle's Space Needle shook. This disaster still stands as the second biggest earthquake ever recorded. Anchorage is known for the most property damage due to the Turnagain Heights and Anchorage soil liquefaction, which caused a major landslide and took a 2,000-foot bluff into the bay while going through the city. A part of the $1 million bridge and the control tower at the airport collapsed, and other things happened, major things. This event clearly showed that earthquakes are a serious hazard to Anchorage due to the liquefaction and landslides they can cause. 1010 Beach Lane is definitely in a hazardous zone. The epicenter doesn't even need to be in the middle of the town. A big one can happen anywhere in Alaska, and Anchorage will be one of the victims.
So I got this official report that the state of Alaska has, and I will say informally, has a website that the residents should really be looking at. It is alaska.gov, which is designed for the residents specifically to understand and take consideration what they should do to prepare and what should be done should a hazard become something more dangerous. Specifically, we have for Anchorage website, Municipality of Anchorage, which gives a more clear, specific information about the city itself. Lastly, we have the final hazard, which probably is the most often occurrence, the classic avalanche.
Emily reporting live from Chugach Mountains. This is the place where skiers and snowboarders come to play in the snow, which is the perfect place for recreational sports due to the steep slopes and the snow. With me, I have Amelia. Are you here to ski today?
No, I'm just here. Emotional support from my boyfriend. Watching him not die.
What threat did the avalanches have to Anchorage?
Well, they're not really a threat to the city itself, unless it's extreme cases, but usually it happens in the mountains. Usually it happens whenever skiers are at the wrong place at the wrong time. They're snowmobiling, an earthquake happens, there's wind blowing too hard in the wrong place again. Just a displacement of snow. But the thing is, whenever it goes down, the further it goes, the more it carries with it, and the greater the strength. So it's like a concrete wall just going further and further. So it can destroy forests and houses, and people definitely die. It is a landslide that covers literally everything under feet of snow.
What hazard would you say that Anchorage has other than volcanism and earthquakes?
I'd say wildfires.
Why is that?
Well, they are becoming more consistent, probably due to global warming. But last year in September 2019, there was a big wildfire in Kenai Peninsula, which is the southern part of Anchorage, really close to the town itself. So definitely it could have hit Anchorage, or the street 101 Beach Lane, definitely.
So avalanches are not that big of a threat as wildfires are. The Swan Lake fire got really close to Anchorage, and our little street of Beach Lane could have become toast. This hazard is now becoming a bigger threat due to climate change. We can all agree on that. Hazards will only grow, as it does anywhere else in the world. That's it for today, folks. I am Emma Kunda. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.